What is up, guys? It is Snoozy here, and this video you're about to watch is part one of a two-part video of my rant on the Detroit Red Wings. Just wanted to let you guys know, part two will be on in a few days, so make sure you guys subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on Twitch, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, the empire of the Detroit Red Wings is dead. It has now fallen into an abyss, and now a team that had a 25+ year consecutive playoff ring is now one of the most mediocre teams of the NHL. And to see this happen breaks my heart. Now, if you guys did not know already, I do live in Southeast Michigan. I do live near Detroit, Wayne County. And I'm not trying to, try to get some hate on the Red Wings. I'm just blowing a full rant at Detroit and the Red Wings and the management and how Ken Holland, Chris Ilitch, and Jeff Blashill suck hell. And they can go in the abyss as well. Because Chris Ilitch doesn't even know how bad Ken Holland even is as a general manager. Ken Holland sucks. So does Blashill. Jeff Blashill is probably the worst coach I have ever seen in any Detroit sports franchise, next to Brad Ausmus of the Tigers. He's legit that bad. And I don't get it. Because Babcock is a freaking traitor. Mike Babcock left for Toronto because he knew the Red Wings was trash and he didn't care anymore. He didn't care about the Red Wings anymore. It was Babcock's fault that we have Jeff Blashill as a head coach. And it's Chris Ilitch's fault that he hasn't fired Ken Holland yet. And it's Ken Holland's fault that he hasn't fired Jeff Blashill. Everybody has a fault for something on this team. I think the Red Wings have a pretty decent team, to be honest with you. To be honest, on paper, I think the team looks good. You got guys like Larkin, like Dylan Larkin, Trevor Daley, Andreas Antanasiou, goalies like Jimmy Howard, who, in my opinion, sucks. Peter Mrazek, he's okay. But I think that's a position they kind of need to upgrade. But that's okay. And I know this team is rebuilding, and they're trying to come back. Anthony Mantha, Gustav Nyquist, Henrik Zetterberg also, Justin Advocator. Like, that team on paper looks pretty good. But they didn't live up. They didn't live up to those expectations that I expected them. I could have thought they would have went to the playoffs, maybe a 10th seed or a 9th seed or something like that. Could have been something like that, I don't know. But they didn't live up. They're not in the playoffs. Instead of the Detroit Red Wings, you might as well call them the Detroit Dead Wings, because the empire is dead. One of the greatest franchises in sports history is now in this era is a joke. Their team is a joke and a mediocre. It's just mediocrity, man. I'm just messing up my words, man. Because I just sit here in sadness talking about the Red Wings. I'm sitting here in sadness. I feel like the new arena has been a waste. Because in the inaugural season, your team does bad. In the new arena. What does that have to say for yourself and your team? What does that even have to say? Like, I don't get it. Like I said, this team on paper looks good. But they didn't live up. When the Empire was dead I went to a Red Wings game last year at the final season of the Joe Louis Arena against the New Jersey Devils, and they got freaking blown out. They didn't play good. They did not play good at all in that game. And we just left, like, early in the third period because it was just bad. And plus we wanted to get out early, so, like, you know, I mean, that's not my problem. But I wanted to go to a Red Wings game this year, but I couldn't. And I also didn't feel like it because I did not watch hockey. Because the Red Wings were bad. I didn't want to see this team fail anymore. I did not want to watch them fail, but it's going to be this way for the next few years. And I know this. And you all know this. You know why? Because it's true. Every team has their failures. Like the Canadians and the Oilers right now. They're also having their failures. And honestly, the Empire's dead. And we know this. As a fan of the Red Wings, you know this. The Tigers are going through the same thing. They're rebuilding and they're doing all this stuff, you know? And as a fan, it makes sense. They could try to get somebody in free agency, somebody big to help their team. Yeah, they got Daly last year, but what really has he done? I haven't been watching Red Wings hockey this year. I don't think I've even watched a game this year, but I don't get the acquisition of Trevor Daly in free agency. But I don't know. They got a lot of good guys on their team, if you can see, in the bottom right corner. If you can see. If you look at this team on paper, in my opinion, if you look at this team on paper, it looks great. The Red Wings team looks great, and I know I've said that 3 times already, but I gotta say it again, it just looks good. But Blashill sucks as a coach, Ken Holland sucks as a general manager, and Chris Ilitch is just stupid not to fire both of them. I don't get it. Ever since Mike Ilitch died, Chris Ilitch has been nothing but dumb. I don't get it. And you might be saying, well, you know how much things Chris Ilitch has done for Detroit. Bull crap. What's he done for the Red Wings? What the hell's he done? He's a nothing but freaking leave us with Ken Holland for a 4-year extension, and then Jeff Blashill for another 4-year extension. Are you like serious? Like seriously? This team used to be a dynasty back in the late 90s and in the entire 2000s. Now look where they are. They can't even make it in the first. They can't even make it in the playoffs. This team looks like a team that could make it to the semifinals, for heck's sake. That's what I think. In my opinion, that's what I think this team would do. This team could do. But that hasn't happened yet. Why? Lord knows why. I don't know. The hockey gods just have their ways, you know. And I agree with this, and you probably agree with this. I think it's time for a downfall, man. Now, I'm not the guy with the most experience in hockey, with the most, researchable guy, but I'm just trying to rant out here and talk about how bad Ken Holland is as a general manager, signing these guys to big fat contracts because he's stupid. What has he been playing? NHL 18 franchise mode? And he thinks he could turn off the salary cap and just freaking give all these guys big contracts? Thinking the salary cap doesn't even exist anymore? Yes, it does, sir. Salary cap still exists in this league. It exists in every single sports league. And now I'm probably going to get hate for this, and you guys are probably going to be confused, but I'm just trying to, I want to do more of these, I'm not trying to copy guys like the Urinating Tree and 5-Point Vids and Stark Raving Sports. I'm not trying to freaking copy those guys. I'm just trying to be my own here. And if that's what I'm gonna try to do, that's what I'm gonna try to do. And if you guys want to see me do more stuff on these teams, then make sure you guys comment it down below. Because I'll rant all day about your favorite team. Like the Urinating Tree and some other YouTubers do. I'm not gonna say word for word. I'm not gonna use the same title. I think YouTubers like those are great. I love the Urinating Tree. I love Stark Raving Sports. And I love 5-Point Vids. Them YouTubers are great. Their rants are awesome. Especially the Urinating Tree. He is my favorite out of all of them guys. Like, he knows how to make a rant video. He's like the master of that. When it comes to sports. And I want to try to be like that, And I just think it'd be cool for that to happen. And now I'm getting off topic here, man. Back to the Red Wings. This was the team that won the Stanley Cup in 1998, 2002, and 2008. In that decade, they won 3 Stanley Cups. 2008 was the last time the Red Wings won the Stanley Cup, and that was 10 years ago. And that doesn't seem like a long time ago. But the downfall after that, it just died. Nick Lidstrom retired in about 2012 due to age, I think. And then a few years after, Pavel Datsyuk retired and he went to Russia. And I think right there was the downfall. Datsyuk, and you can agree with me. When Datsyuk left, that was the end of the Empire. When Pavel Datsyuk left, that was the end of the Empire. And you all can agree with this. Because if you're a Red Wings fan, you got to know that this was the end of the Empire. You got to know that this was the beginning. The next part 2, Babcock left. Probably one of my favorite coaches ever in Detroit sports history, Mike Babcock left for Toronto. Now, when I heard this news, I was upset, as like every sports fan. He went to Toronto, and he's actually doing pretty great at Toronto. Even though Toronto got eliminated in the playoffs, I think in the first round this year. But ever since he came, he's been doing great. Speaking of Maple Leafs, go check out my new video that they got a new GM in Kyle Dubas. Good for them. Babcock leaving was not a good thing. Because we got the nightmare known as Jeff Blashill. Like, jeez. Because Ken Holland is so much of an idiot to sign that guy. People thought he was going to do something for the... He thought this was going to be an upgrade for the team. And the staff. I thought it was going to be bad. That's what I thought. And I was right. This team sucks. It's not just their fault. Sort of. Now, in my opinion, Mrazek and Howard suck. To be honest, to me, they're terrible. Now, one of them is better than the other. If you ask me the question, who's better, Mrazek or Howard? In my opinion, it's Mrazek. Because the past few years, Howard couldn't even do a darn thing.